Okay, so my name is Nicholas Longman, and most of you probably don't know me since I came to the school district in ninth grade. And I just want to tell you a little bit about my life and what schools I came to before I came to the Baldwin-Whitehall School District. So, I came from Bishop McDowell. It's a small Catholic school, it's right on Churchview Avenue, and it's right by St. Albert the Great's Church. And I went here from kindergarten to third grade. It was probably the greatest years of my life. That's my first grade teacher right there, Mrs. Dern. She was probably the greatest teacher I ever had, the nicest lady ever. And to appreciate her, I gave her a bag at the end of the year, like to hold all her teaching supplies. And one day I seen her in Giant Eagle a few years back, and she came up to me and she's like, "Is that my Nicholas there?" And I'm like, "Yeah, hi Mrs. Dern." And she told me she asked me where I was going to school after high school and all that. And then she told me that she still had the bag that I gave her in first grade and she still uses it. And I really appreciated that. But I also played many sports too at Bishop McDowell. I played hockey and basketball, but on the side I also played baseball for Greater Baldwin-Whitehall Athletic Association, and that really became my favorite sport out of them all. To go more on about baseball, that's me at the Cleveland Indians game, and they're my second favorite team in baseball now, and I really liked that when we went there. It's Progressive Field. It's not a really great ballpark, but I liked it. And there's me on the cover of Life magazine and USA Today. Those aren't real, if anybody's asking. I wasn't that great of a ball player at all, but they took them at FanFest when the All-Star game was here in Pittsburgh in 2006. So I just put them up there. Some of the sacraments I performed at Bishop McDowell, well, not these ones, but that's my communion over there, and that's my Uncle Bob. He is my great uncle, my grandma's brother, and I really like him. I look up to him, and he really got me into space and the stars and all that. I really like that, and as you can see the height difference there, I grew a lot from second grade to eighth grade. That's me getting confirmed there, and that's me receiving the Eucharist. But moving on, I moved to Ross Draver, and my mom gave me the choice to go. Mom gave me the choice to either stay in Bishop McDowell for another year or go to Ross Draver. So I picked Ross Draver instead, just to get a new atmosphere in the public school. But my mom moved because of her boyfriend. She lived out there. So first day was quite awkward. I really didn't have no friends at all. But after later on, I really enjoyed it, and that's the picture of the house that we moved to. And here's more of me at Ross Draver. And that's me at doing a wax museum. I don't know if any of you guys did that in elementary school, but I was Neil Armstrong there, and because I really liked space at the time, and I still do. That's my mom, and that's my dad. And that kid there that's right next to me, it was probably my best friend, Matt Mascara, and he was a great friend. We actually tried starting a rock band at one time, but it really didn't work out with two guitarists, and he's the drummer. So then middle school. I went to Ross Draver from 4th to 8th grade, and middle school was terrible. I hated middle school, I honestly did. I hated the teachers, except for one who I really liked. I'll tell you a little bit about him in a minute. But I hated carrying the books, and because we couldn't carry a book bag like we do here. Plus, we had to take accelerated reader tests, and I always did terrible on them. But the teacher who I liked the most in middle school, and I also really looked up to him, his name was Mr. Scaramucci. He was my science teacher, and he was a great man. He really taught us discipline and all that, and because the first day we came in, he said, "If you come in through that door late, he screamed at the top of his lungs, and he made you get there on time every single day." And we actually became good friends, and he was like one of the nicest guys who I ever met. So he actually started calling me Mr. Lawman throughout the year. So moving on, from Little Lep, the Fighting Highlander. Ross Straver was the Leopards, and then I came here to Baldwin. It's me after getting off the bus on the first day of school. My dog Jack in the yard. Sadly, he's not with us anymore. But I was happy to come back. It was really fun coming back here to Baldwin. But it was kind of weird because I didn't know any of you guys at all because I'm going to the public school this time. And it was kind of awkward the first 3 days. But I met new friends, and actually 4 of them were in this class. We got Zach, Dom, Goron, and Brandon. Dom I met in 9th grade. He was great at first. He was kind of a jerk, but I mean, we really got along later on. Zach I met in 10th grade with Goron, and Goron and Zach were just great too overall. And I really didn't start talking to Brandon until this year, and he's also really great too. So I really liked that. And I had some of the best teachers here. Mr. Black was one. He was my math teacher last year. He was great. I loved him. Mr. Harold in particular, he made me love English for once. I hated English until I had his class. And then Mr. Quinn, he's my computer-aided drafting teacher, my architecture teacher, and my 3D engineering teacher. He's just great overall too. And my favorite history teacher would have to be Mrs. Grattan. She really had a set plan, and she really liked, I should say, I don't know how to describe it, but she was just great. I have no regrets of coming here at all, except one regret I have is probably the question that I asked Mr. Harold Thursday when I wasn't paying attention. Do I have to wear a suit to do this? But that's that. But everybody has those stupid moments. But I chose Baldwin because my mom gave me the choice again to either go to Ross Straver High School or to come here. Because my family graduated from here, my mom, my dad, my great uncle who you've seen in previous slides, and my grandma and my uncle Randy. And I figured I'd keep the tradition moving on and graduate from here. But then in the future, I plan on going to Pittsburgh Technical Institute in the fall in October, and I'm going for computer-aided drafting. And I want to lean towards the architecture side, but I'm not sure yet. I'm very excited. So my mom said to pick a career that will last and you'll have fun because you'll never work a day in your life. That's it. Thank you for being wonderful classmates, and thank you all my friends.